The wind had a cruel edge that winter morning, biting into cheeks and whispering frost into every crevice of the city. At 7:45 a.m., the little pharmacy on Hawthorne Avenue was just opening its glass doors. The fluorescent lights inside flickering to life like sleepy eyes adjusting to the day. People shuffled in, some with colds, others with worry in their eyes, clutching prescriptions like lifelines. In the corner of the store, by the dusty shelves of cough syrup and heartburn tablets, stood Thomas Miller, 44 tall but worn. Down from life, Thomas wore a threadbare coat zipped all the way up and a beanie that had seen better winters. His 5-year-old daughter, Lily, stood beside him, a pink backpack slung over her shoulder and a crayon-drawn Band-Aid on her knee. She was humming something under her breath, some song from the preschool talent show she was too. Shy to join last week, Thomas glanced at the old analog clock on the wall and muttered, "10 minutes, baby, then I'll walk you to school." Lily smiled and looked around. "Why is that lady crying?" He turned, brows knitting. An elderly woman, perhaps in her late 70s or early 80s, stood at the counter. She had perfectly brushed silver-white hair under a faded woolen hat. Her thin frame seemed smaller today, as though the weight of something invisible pressed her shoulders lower. In her gloved hands was a bottle of insulin and 2 other prescription boxes. The cashier, a teenage boy, looked helpless. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the cashier said awkwardly. "Your card's been declined again. Do you have another way to pay?" The old woman, Eleanor Whitmore, fumbled in her bag, her fingers trembling. "I don't know what happened. It always works. I swear it worked just last week." Thomas felt something stir inside him. He knew that panic. He lived it. The difference was, when he hit his financial walls, he had learned to press against them silently. But this woman, her lip quivered as she looked at her medicine. That wasn't just medicine. That was time. That was life. Before he knew it, Thomas stepped forward. "Excuse me, how much is it?" The cashier blinked. "It's $68.24. Thomas opened his wallet. A $100 bill, meant for the week's groceries, sat in the fold. He'd just been paid from a painting job yesterday. He sighed, then held it out. "Here." The old woman turned to him in shock. "Oh, no, I couldn't possibly. You can, and you will." "Please," he said, gently pushing the bill forward. "Take it. It's not a loan. It's just a good morning for someone." The woman's lips trembled again, this time in disbelief. Her eyes shimmered with a kind of grief that couldn't form words. She looked at him as though he'd just given her the last light in the world. "I don't even know your name," she whispered. "Thomas," he said. "And this is Lily." Lily gave a shy wave, her big eyes curious. The woman placed a hand over her heart. "I'm Eleanor. I will never forget this." Thomas smiled. "Take care of yourself, Eleanor. That's all the thanks I need." He walked Lily to school afterward. They ate grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner and had powdered milk instead of real milk for their cereal. But he didn't regret it, not even once. The warmth in Eleanor's eyes had been worth everything. 3 weeks passed, then 4. Thomas barely remembered the moment. It was just another act of kindness in a long line of them. That's how he survived, by being decent, even when the world wasn't. But on a snowy Thursday morning, while scrubbing paint off his hands after finishing a job at the back of a cafe, he got a call. "Is this Thomas Miller?" the voice asked. "Yes. This is Lyle, assistant to Ms. Eleanor Whitmore. She'd like to invite you and your daughter to lunch." He furrowed his brows. "Wait, the Eleanor from the pharmacy?" "Yes, sir. She's asked me to personally escort you. If you're available, a car will pick you up at noon tomorrow." A car did pick them up, a sleek black Mercedes with heated seats and a polite driver who called Lily ma'am with a grin. The car drove them out of the city and up into the hills. Through security gates and long winding roads, lined with Eskimos, they arrived at a mansion. Thomas froze when he saw Itan's enormous estate with marble columns, golden lights, and sprawling gardens blanketed in snow. "This must be a mistake," he muttered. "It's not," said the driver. "She lives here." When the door opened, Eleanor stood there, no longer frail and trembling. She wore a lavender sweater and pearls, and though she still looked like someone's grandmother, she now looked every bit the billionaire she secretly was. Thomas blinked. "What is this?" "This," she said softly, "is my thank you." They sat down to lunch real pasta with hand-grated cheese and fresh garlic bread. Lily giggled when the butler brought her a strawberry milkshake with 2 straws. Eleanor explained between sips of tea. "I don't usually go out in public. It's exhausting. I own a few companies, investments mostly. I lost my husband 8 years ago. My children, let's just say they love the money more than me." Thomas nodded, not sure what to say. "I had one test left," she continued, "before I moved forward with a legal decision. That morning at the pharmacy, I pretended to be a regular old woman. I wanted to see how the world treats the unseen, and I passed your test," he asked, almost with a chuckle. "You did more than pass. You saved my life, Mr. Miller, just physically, but emotionally." She reached under the table and pulled out a small envelope. She handed it to him with a kind smile. He opened it slowly. It was a deed. "To the house at 208 Wisteria Lane," he whispered, stunned. "That house is yours," she interrupted gently. "I had it fully renovated, 3 bedrooms, backyard for Lily. It's close to her school. No more rent, no more peeling walls, no more wondering if you can afford breakfast." I don't know what to say. Say yes. He did. And that wasn't all. She made him a job offer to head of maintenance and groundskeeping across several of her estates, with flexible hours so he could still take Lily to school and eat dinner with her every night. The salary was 5 times what he made painting walls in the weeks that followed. Life transformed. Lily decorated her new room with stars and glow-in-the-dark butterflies. She made Eleanor macaroni necklaces and called her Grandma Ellie. Thomas found himself smiling more, standing straighter, sleeping soundly for the first time in years. One snowy evening, Eleanor came over for dinner grilled cheese, just like the one he and Lily had shared that night after the pharmacy. "I never thought a single $100 bill would change my entire life," he said, laughing softly. Eleanor patted his hand. "That wasn't just money, that was heart. You gave me back my faith in humanity. The least I could do was return the favor." And in the flickering warmth of the dining room, as laughter echoed and Lily told silly knock-knock jokes, Thomas realized something. Sometimes, kindness is the richest currency in the world, and when spent selflessly, it always finds its way back.